Hello all, this is Zimnala coming at you with another adventure in the Kingdom of Thornwood. We're going to continue where we left off before in our playthrough of Shining in the Darkness, Darkness Edition. We had just conquered the Trial of Courage and gotten the Orb of Truth, and we are going to be exploring that trial this stream. So yeah, I thought of another aspect of the balance of that trial that I may not have like iterated in my sum up at the end of last one, and that's that as I've said before, the monsters in this don't have a lot of moves they can do, so the moves that they'll do are extra concentrated. So part of the reason why this has been a bit of a rough experience is that almost every one of the enemies in there is a spellcaster, and that is the main thing that they want to do. They don't have like any other abilities that they can do other than just attack. So it's either attack or spellcast. So in the battle edition, they usually had like a move where they could dodge or like block, or they had another move where they could heal someone. And some of these characters that you had, these creatures you have in here, do in fact heal and stuff. That is true, but it's not most of them. It's just some of them, and yeah. So that's the thing, is that like it's a little bit more concentrated in this mod hack so far, and that's fine. I actually like the challenge. It's good for me, but it is probably making it a little bit harder than it would be otherwise. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it and see how it goes. It's a little bit of a shame that we weren't actually fast enough to kill those Halloween enemies, even with a couple of extra levels. But we'll pop in again. We'll see like what we think later. So let's see how our friend the Grimwall does. Now, what do we think they have going on? So part of what I can do is I can look up what they drop. I didn't actually write this in. So they just drop a healer fruit. Now, do I think they do anything interesting? I'm not actually entirely sure. So let's go in here and start writing that in as things that they have. So I actually didn't make a bunch of entries for these guys, so it may take me a couple seconds to actually sort that out. So yeah, do not mind that. But this one is made. Yeah. So I guess I'll just like do it as I go. I won't stop and take like 5 minutes to set up my thing. I'll just look up what they drop and make their entry as I find them. Oh, look at you doing critical hits for 3 damage, but you tried. So yeah, that did have the ability to critical though, so that's something. I didn't count how many attacks it did, or at least tried to do. But the only skill it used was critical hit, and it didn't actually inflict much damage, so. That's 1 attack. That's 2 attacks. So it has some decent defense. It's 1 attack. So it can do 1 or 2 attacks, and it can critical hit. So it's double attack and single attack so far. So that's all I got on it. It gives 350 and 500 XP and gold. Okay, that's fair enough. Cool. Yeah, this leads to the starting boss of the arena and to the 4th trial. But we got our friends the Minotaurs immediately. We like these guys. They didn't do anything bad to us. So this one is the one I was thinking about before. This is a shortcut that leads to the end of this particular area. But it is just a loop. It doesn't give us anything in particular. So you already knew that they could do quick. That's not new information. If they have any other abilities, they didn't actually show it to us. This isn't the shortcut. The shortcut's coming up though. So we got toadstools and dark wings. So let's get entries for these guys in here. So what do they give for items? Let's take a peek. So toadstools are iron shield and dark wings are ice staff. Interesting. Well, Iron Shield would technically be an upgrade if we wanted to have more defense, I think. But, I don't like to really make my builds too defense-oriented. I think offense is king in this game. So unless that adds an absolute butt-ton of defense, I wouldn't want it. But I do like the reskin on the Dark Wings. I think these guys look pretty neat. But we're not going to be able to find out their stats currently. What do I think they do? I bet these guys poison. They probably cast spells, to be honest. I think these guys would put you to sleep, maybe poison you, but we don't have no idea. Well, let's get in here and see what happens. I'm going to take out the bigger group first, and they are going down. What do you got going on? You aren't hurting us, at least. You didn't do any abilities, so I got nothing. They got about 60-something hit points. That's not too dangerous. We got the ice staff. That's confirmed. So ice staffs are usable items. They are also equipment that can be used as a normal weapon as well. I'm going to try to give the Grimfell a chance to do something. They've not shown us any abilities though. They still didn't. I mean, any enemies that I don't get any information on, I'll probably do like a go back to them later when I'm super powered towards the end of the game and check them out again to see if I can find out what they do. I'll give them like 10 rounds of just defending against them and see what they decide to do to us. So yeah, this is the shortcut back and it's just a loop. So we'll take that afterwards to come back and then we'll never take it again. I don't consider these guys to be a real threat, so I'm not really doing anything fancy for tactics for them. They waste most of their turns trying to quick themselves. So that is the other end of the shortcut, by the way. Quite a shortcut, right? But I am gonna kill the Minotaurs to try to give the Grimfowl a chance to do whatever it's gonna do, which didn't turn out to be much. Or at least we got revived. That gives us options if someone goes down. Well, I think I'm going to take out the toadstools first because we'll have more opportunities to fight them. I still want to know what these birds do. They definitely don't do the wiggle thing very often if they have it. But they're not really doing anything so far, so... If they have an ability, it's pretty subtle. So yeah, as you can see, this is the other end of that. So this isn't a mixed group. This will be an easier time to find out what their EXP and gold are. 122 and 120, so 61 and 60. But yeah, we didn't get any abilities for any of these guys yet, unfortunately. Oh wait, I take it back. We have one ability for Grimfowl. They cast Blast level 2. Okay. That is true. Let's give these bats a chance to do something. Let's see what they decide to do with it. While we're not so far from town that we can't just go back and heal up if it's a problem. They didn't do much though. They're running, they flex. So flex is a skill that they can do. It's a defensive skill. But they didn't do anything else, and only one of them took a turn. I'm not going to try to find out their EXP from such a big group, though. I'm going to wait till it's either just mushrooms or a much simpler group. But I am going to go back and take that shortcut and get that sorted out. So I don't have to worry about it again. I mean, it's absolutely fine. We're like not really taking much damage currently. I did suspect that once we got our weapons and armor sorted out that we would have an easy time for a little bit. So this is a group setup we could potentially get the data off of. Just gotta make sure how many of them try to run. So all they're doing is flexing so far. And that's just a defensive thing that cuts damage they take in half. $320 and $305. So from that, they have 61 gold. That's easy peasy. And they've got 64 EXP. Okay, so that would put them a little bit past the level of the Dark Wings. Because that one was 61. So what is interesting is that this actually puts Dark Wings as easier than even the Minotaurs. So maybe Dark Wings were supposed to show up in the last dungeon, but that doesn't make sense because they didn't. So. But anyways, like, I'm not gonna, like, mix the list together. But it is interesting to note, perhaps, that their difficulty is a little bit past, so. We still don't have any abilities for these guys, though. Other than the flex, of course. They have the ability to run. That's exciting. Look at them run. Oh, they poisoned, so we got poison hit. So we're back to poisoning. At least it's something, though. So yeah, this is a bit of an annoyance. So the easiest way to go from end to end without having to double track is actually to start from that end over there. So usually the toadstools have the ability to divide. They also normally have sleeping powder, if I remember, so they were kind of annoying in that they would just keep on making more of themselves and trying to put you to sleep. So far they haven't done either of those. I also don't think I mentioned it, but like the toadstools are slightly recolored as well. Like I mentioned it for the dark bats, but the toadstools are also slightly greener than they normally would be, which is interesting. It's kind of subtle though. Oh, hello, Night Stalker. Don't be a problem, please. Oh, look at that. The Grimfowl are pretty fast, at least. As you can see, this green path was completely useless. It didn't actually go anywhere. It is the mildest of shortcuts, and not even in a good way. It saves you like 15 steps. It's okay though. I wanted to get it mapped, so we did. Oh boy. Let's hope we kill most of them, if not all of them. Good. Oh, you got sleeping powder. You do have sleeping powder. Look at you go. So far you haven't tried to divide or anything, though. I guess there's still time. Yeah, now we're basically ready to actually enter. So this cave has the introduction of the spinners to it. That's its claim to fame. The spinners are an interesting mechanic, but they're not really that much, in my opinion. Like they're not that disorienting. They're fine. The fourth one is where things can get a little spicy if you aren't careful. It has a bunch of trapdoors in it. They give you some maps to get through it, but to get at least one of the maps, it's a bit of a process. And there's a part where there's 3 different paths to go, of which one of them isn't obvious. And it has the best loot in it. So yeah. Just like the first dungeon, I'm not going to actually fight these ghosts. Because I'll fight them once. I will fight one ghost. Because they have a limited number of encounters, because they don't respawn. So here's a new friend of ours, the Sea Stallion. He's the mini-boss of this area. I wonder how he stacks up to the Grimoire for EXP. I bet he's more difficult than the Grimoire. Usually they have like freezing and some stuff like that, but let's see what he decides to do. They're fast, they hit pretty hard, they have 2 attacks so far, but they didn't do any moves. And they died in 1 round. 250 and 10. Was that 10? I think it was 100. It must have been 100 gold. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'll actually end up fighting this a couple of times just to see what it does. It wasn't really that dangerous, although it did hurt us. I'd rather find out now rather than later on when we're deep into it. Oh, here's a new friend. Bull Snout. Okay. So let's write what our Bull Snout can drop for us. And that is a leather robe. So we've seen the leather robe from 2 other enemies so far. It's fine. It's not a bad robe. Now the Sea Stallion that I didn't write down, and what does that drop for us? That drops Madu, which we already have, but I mean it would be money. We can put that on the list as well. Cool. How easy to figure out what this guy has for experience from this. A little bit annoying. If I was to guess, it's probably like the other ones. It hides behind its shield. It probably has critical hits, potentially. Although we never saw the previous one do critical hits. They probably hit pretty hard. Well, at least it did damage. We do have really high defense. We gained a whole bunch. $334 and $313. Okay, so let's figure this out. So they have 65 gold. And for the other side, it is... $71 EXP. So that is a little stronger than the previous toadstool. Okay, so they're a little bit down the progression. But we want to fight this thing again. So we're gonna go back and forth a couple times till it attacks us. Oh, so you do have sleep hit, so these guys also do sleep hit. Okay, so it doesn't just have poison hit, it also has sleep hit. No, it doesn't. I don't mean I don't. They don't have just have sleeping powder. They also have sleep hit, so they double down on sleep. Good. I said it weird. I was thinking of the bats for the poison. I still think the bats probably cast a spell. They just didn't decide to. But no idea. Let's give him another try. Nothing? Well, all you can do is give him the chance. Are the stallions finally scared of us? Oh, look at you being a big group. Well, I think we've seen what the toadstools can do. We don't need to go too much further. I don't think they divide. If they were gonna divide, they would have done it. I think divide was taken from them. Poor toadstools, no division for you. I actually haven't seen a monster trying to divide so far. You've seen howl for help. Do you not want to start a fight? Unfortunate. Look at you, you actually cast a spell. This one is actually fairly damaging for a level 2 spell. There is... Oh, look at that, you also howl for help? Look at that, you got another ability. You did it. See, this is why my Battle Edition list can never be complete, because it's a very difficult, even when they have less abilities, to actually get all the abilities that they can do if they have a number of them. Because, like, how many cockatrices have I fought before I've seen them do some of their skills? Like, those toadstools could still divide, they just might have been shy, they didn't want to do it, you know? Just like this frickin' stallion is being shy and doesn't want to attack us either, so... It's like, I just want to give another one for some more confirmation. You didn't do anything the first time we fought. I want to see at least a third one. Usually they're jumping all over you to attack you, you know? The fact that they're just, like, not appearing at the water puddle is a little surprising. Because they should be able to appear every time you step over the puddle. Seriously? Alright, well, I mean, it doesn't want to do it, it doesn't want to do it. I guess I can't make it. So one of these ways leads further and one of them does not. So we're gonna take a peek both directions. So that way leads to that. We'll look out the other way now. Oh yeah, the other way I think leads to something else. Let's take a look. Yeah, there is only really one path forward in this one. It's not like the last trial, which has two ways that intersect at the end. I still don't trust that these Dark Wings have only used one ability. That doesn't seem correct to me, but... can't make them do it. They look too cool to have nothing else going on. Come on, show me something. All I have for you is poison. Oh, we got another ice staff. Oh wait, do we actually have 3 ice staffs? No, we have 2. Okay, my bad. I thought I saw a 3rd one. Still, that's 2 more than I started with. Actually, you know what I could do is I could see who can put this on and what it does, because it is a weapon. So this is a weapon that adds 50 attack. It's like, I've never used this as a weapon, but it does technically count as a weapon. I don't remember if the hero can use it. So let's give it to the main character and see if they can put it on. I know you can use it as an item. I don't know if you can wear it. I don't think so. You sure can. Okay. But I know that both Pyra and Milo can. So let's get that in our listing. So it's funny that this does as much damage as the double axe. I've always found that to be amusing. And it's also usable as a weapon I mean, an item that you can just use to do even more damage to the whole map. It'll hit every enemy with basically the equivalent of like a freeze 3 spell. Well, actually, I think we have to go to the other side again. Yeah. Let's not get spun around. Oh, look at you. Death Grin. Where were you at? So these guys drop Morning Star. So I'm gonna guess they're between Toadstool and Bull Snout because there's a big difference in their EXPs, but I don't know, so we'll determine that after we kill them. What do we think they do? Let's see. They run. So 131, 125. This will be easy, it's just 1 and 1. So yeah, they give 65 gold, that's easy peasy. And they give 70 EXP. So yeah, they are in the middle of the two. We don't have any idea on what they can do, so we'll be on the lookout for that, but their entry is in the list. So level 2 slow, we have an ability. That's not a very dangerous ability. So I approve. It doesn't do damage. It can make you take a little bit more damage if you're unlucky and the battle lasts for a long time. Yeah, here's our Sea Stallion. Show us what you got, Sea Stallion. Give us something new. So 1 attack, 2 attacks. Didn't do any moves. You gonna do it again? Nothing? Alright. Maybe after you kill them they won't spawn for a while. I do swear you can just do them over and over again though. I seem to remember that working. Oh well. Yep, so we're at the second spinner. So I think this way is progression, and the next one is actually a dead end with maybe treasure. Yep. There's a wood staff. It's just another weapon. We're getting a little overcrowded in our inventory. Oh, look at you being a million mushrooms. Good for you. The only ones that are gonna live are the ones that decided to flex at the beginning. And then probably the hero's gonna kill them off. Let's give the bull smouts a chance to attack. Let's see what they do. 1 damage. 1 damage. Alright. We gave you a chance. Okay, and so this is further in. So I don't think it ever makes you go through slime. Except for 1 point. I know where it does make you go through, but I don't think at the beginning of this level it does. So this is probably treasure. Yep, looks like I was right. More fruits. So level 2 quick is also not a very dangerous ability for us. Okay, that's 2 abilities you've got. Neither one of them are damaging moves. So this is basically a corridor of minor nonsense. Let's give them another chance to do something. Let's see if they have anything dangerous in their repertoire. So far, no. Hey, we got boosting. Fantastic. I don't remember where that path leads off the top of my head, but I think that these paths converge. Let's see where left goes first. Alright, so we're gonna fight one ghost. This is another mini-boss of this dungeon. We aren't gonna open up any more treasure chests after we fight this ghost for this dungeon, because I want to keep some alive. So what do ghosts drop? They drop Magic Hood. So Magic Hood is a pretty good item. It would be like the best hat for Milo or Pyra from the early game. We're hitting it really hard. So it attacked once. And it's dead. 360 and 390. So at least we got the EXP and gold counts. There is like another like 3 or 4 ghosts, so like you still have a chance of getting it if the first one doesn't give you anything. Let's see where this path takes us. Also, I'm probably going to be leaving this dungeon halfway through just to restock up before I try the last half. Just because there's so many magic pads, I don't want to be out of MP by the end of it. So yeah, this was a shortcut that leads to nothing. Yeah. Because like this just goes around, so yeah, I thought so. And that was the path we took, so yeah, as long as... Hey, it's these guys, Death Rattles. What do you drop? So it says they drop the Madu. What I will say is they also have their name listed off by a letter in the item drop list. You have it listed as Death Rattler. Which is fine, like it is probably what it's going for almost. But I mean there's a character limit in the game. And that's probably why it doesn't go all the way across. They might not actually get a chance to attack either. Oh, you can drain mana. That's unfortunate. $225 and $213. So that's 75 EXP, so that puts them past the Bull Snout. And 71 gold. And they have mana drain, which isn't what I would have expected them to have. I bet that's not all they could do, though. Usually they can do their little dance and do a little damage to everyone. It's usually super inconvenient, too. And that damage is based on how many are still alive. So this right here is going to be a treasure chest. Oh, I said I wasn't going to open them, but I did. I opened one. Oh well. So there is only one other treasure chest I'm going to open, and it's a particular one. Well, there's a second one, but that one's a special case as well. You'll see. Hey, 2 markers new. Also, I'm not gonna get their EXP level from this group. It's got too much going on. But we can get their listing in here. Let's see what you drop. Healer fruit. Fair enough. Okay. So you have paralyzing powder, and that could be bad for people. Oh, you do critical hits. That is a lot of damage. So you do have another ability. Look at you go. Doing 70 points of critical damage. That was immediately spicy. Where are we in the dungeon? So we're on the bottom. Okay. Where does this go? Let's just take a peek. So these guys are a bit more dangerous than I would have anticipated. They go pretty fast, and they do a lot of damage. And you take our mana, and you critical hit. So this loops back to this. So yeah, that one is an extra one of the spinners that you don't have to interact with. So yeah, these guys can also flex, so that is another move that they have. So yeah, we're gonna go check out the side paths of that last one, and you guys better not do double critical hits. I'll be real angry. Or that. Please don't do that either. That's not a good thing for you to do. Yeah, honestly, we might have to bail and come back because of that. I guess we do have an extra angel feather, so what we can do is heal up. And wait till we run out, because it doesn't really matter too much. Like, these things are not actually hurting us that much. So... they're taking a lot of our mana, but they're not really doing a lot of damage, you know? Other than that critical hit, of course. So this right here is just a loop, and you don't have to intersect with it. I just wanted to get it mapped. Yeah, we never got any abilities for these guys, did we? They're the one enemy that didn't actually do anything so far. I guess we do kill them too fast for them to do much most of the time, though. So that is definitely a factor. Look at you giving me a bunch of money. Thank you. Alright, actually I didn't even want to do this. What I wanted to do was go down the other path with the green slime. So yeah, after I explore the side paths of this, I'm gonna actually leave. Because, oh, Dark Wizard, here's another enemy. Because, the last half of this, might get more spicy, and I don't really want to go at it with no MP. What does Dark Wizard give us? Dark Hood, that's a cursed item. So that's spicy. Oh yeah, that's right, we didn't get the Tomb Walker EXP, okay. We'll keep an eye out for it. So you give us 90 and 110. So that's more than anything else so far. Well, yes, a lot of them are having an easy time dying. It is what they do. It's like when they say, welcome, and when they say, welcome what? The answer is welcome to die. I'm not gonna actually grab this chest right now, for a simple reason that, so in the Battle Edition, it's actually a cursed item. Look at you, Bolt level 2. So if you had it in, if you pick up the false idol in Battle Edition, it inflicts Muddle level 2 on whoever picks it up. So in case this thing is a cursed item like that, I don't want to engage with the whole trial with that. 324 and 360. So that is 2 and... Let's sort that out from that information. So that's 72 EXP, and that is 70 gold. So that would put the two markers somewhere around... Actually, weaker than the death rattle, but the stronger than the bull smouts. It's cool. So I think I have the hierarchy of where it wants to be. Cool. Of course. Hey, level 3 heal is welcome, but it's only going to benefit the main hero so far. Oh, that's right, we have to use a Angel Feather. Yeah, we were full on items anyway. If we went any further, we would have had to drop stuff. Oh, are they? I'm still experiencing it. Yeah, like so they're mean in two ways. One, they really take a lot of your mana, and when they don't take the mana, they did 70 damage to me when they do like 1 damage hits. So that's a big disparity. But honestly, I do think that that those salamanders from the previous trial are probably a bigger potential danger because they had... Yeah. So like the what was their name? The Night Stalkers. They had 2 rounds of combat, and they could cast Blaze level 3 in the second trial. So if they got lucky, you could get hit by a group of 4 of those, doing like 300 damage to your whole party. Not that that happened to me, but I did have a round where they hit me with like 85 during 1 round of combat, and that was pretty bad. Well, they definitely put a lot more into this particular mod. Like, there's been at least 1 MP drainer in every one, and unlike the main games one, those little worms in the first one, these ones are actually combat sturdy ones, so like they're in the mainland of it, and yeah, it's something we've had to deal with. How much do these sell for? These are... Okay, so they're 5,000 gold normally. We can put that in our list of stats. So the reason why I'm keeping track of all of these things is because this is a mod hack. The values on everything is different, so I can't just look them up. Also, there's differences to who can wear what, so I'm kind of compiling a list for myself if I ever play through it again. So we actually have a decent amount of gold to deal with. Let's remember to heal first, though. Don't want to head in and have to head back out again. But 32,000 gold gives us something to play with. What's interesting is I think we're gonna buy out everything that we want now. So there aren't any more shields we need. There is a better helmet we can get for people. So we don't know who can wear this. I'm gonna assume that Pyra cannot. That is true. Can Milo wear it? Milo can wear this. So I'm gonna guess it is an upgrade, so... We're... Oh, well, nope. Went one too many. So then we're gonna go to deals. So yeah, the magic hood. So I'm gonna get these entries in my list. We're going to get the magic hood and this. And it is 6,800 gold. So yes, I'm gonna guess the main hero cannot wear it. Let's get confirmation. Yep, that's correct. So then I'm gonna guess Milo and Pyra can both wear it, but we'll confirm. I am just gonna put it because I'm pretty much sure of it. I'm still a little sad that I can't have Princess Milo though. Using the tiara for everyone has always been one of the things I found really amusing. Alright, now so let's get stats on these things. So the helm is just 30 defense. That's easy peasy. That's actually the same as the tiara anyway. So there is also just a chance that the iron helm is not even better than... I mean, the magic hood is not more defense than the tiara, but it probably is. Okay, so now let's equip everyone up. We do have to check the stats on the magic hood, though. You actually... Oh, look at that increase. That's actually 60. That's actually really, really, really strong. Holy crap. She doesn't actually need this amount of defense, but she's wearing it. Is she wearing it? I'm deciding. No, I think I'm gonna actually give this to Milo. As much as she could benefit from having a new hat, Milo needs the defense more because he can revive everyone. So I'm sorry you don't get to be the one wearing that. Even though we wasted money on the Iron Helm, if we get another one, it's fine. It's whatever. Milo is just a little bit specialer in our hearts. But what is interesting is this means we're going to be going into basically the last trial without anything else to buy at all. So there is one more thing we can check out. It might not be something we end up using, but it might be. There is the long spear. And I don't know what this mod has done with it. It's still 9,800. So, no, it's 9,500, my bad. What else you offering? Yeah, we don't need these. Oh, is it actually only 4,500? Okay, I'm gonna change the value on that. Guess my math was wrong on that. It's fine. So yeah, let's get the, let's get that in there. Long spear. So, the hero can use it. I'm gonna guess that neither Milo nor Pyra can use that. That just makes sense to me. But I guess we'll pass it around and find out. Now I'm hoping it works like the flail. I hope it lets the character use multiple attacks. That would be really nice. Oh, look at you actually able to use this, Milo. That's not what I expected. Okay, now let's see if Pyra can wear this. Look at you also being able to use this. How wild. So if any character is gonna try it out, it's gonna be Milo. He's actually the weakest with the Morningstar, so let's see if this power boost is like a flail for him. So first of all, this is 45 attack. No, it's actually, oh, that is actually 75 attack. That's a lot of attack. What's most interesting is that everyone can use this. That's actually not vanilla. And that's why I check who can wear what. Because sometimes it's different. So yeah, let's see if this does something different. We're just gonna test it out on these starting enemies and see if anything different happens. You guys will do. So let's use our lovely helm. Let's just attack. You give a nice defend. What do you got going on? Nope, that's just one attack. Okay, so that's not actually going to be something we end up using. But the fact that everyone can use it and it does a lot of damage is very interesting. But what I could do is I could give it to, say, the main character to hold on to, and if I were to fight, say, a boss I know about, I could put it on and do more damage. So that's probably what I will do. It doesn't hurt to have an alternate weapon. So it won't be fully wasted. We got nothing else to buy anyway. Let's go back in and save the game up. Now that we've cleared out our inventory and sorted everything out. And when we go back, we should just be able to walk like right to the end, more or less. We're about as topped off as we can be. Oh, let's go the other way. Let's do one final check. Let's make sure we still have an angel feather. We do. So especially in this mod, make sure you have a way back to town. In case things go sour and all your MP gets taken. That's just a general recommendation. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't see if the spear actually affects stats that are not your main stat. So in the Battle Edition, wearing spears had a secondary bonus of doubling your speed. That's not the case here, but that was a reason to use them. Probably take as long to run as to kill him. But we've mapped pretty much all of the complicated parts of the third trial. There's a kind of fun part towards the end where the walls like come down and crash in front of you. But it's like they don't do anything, it just looks kind of cool. But I kind of wish that other parts of the dungeon utilized that, because I thought it was a really cool effect. But it's not like it's a confusing effect or anything, it just makes it a bit of a maze when you bring all the walls down. I still really thought that these dark bats should have actually done something a little more interesting. These dark wings. They look kind of cool, but they're not doing anything other than potentially poisoning us so far. I thought they'd make a pretty decent, like, fire spellcast or something, but no. They could just be shy, though. They might just not be using their abilities, just to spite me. Because, like, almost more fun than playing the mod itself is finding out, like, what things do. That's most of the enjoyment I'm getting out of this. As it's not actually extremely challenging, although these guys, like I said, these Nightwalk Stalkers, they could potentially party wipe us if they manage to ambush us and all go in double attack with their Blaze 3. They can also cast Blaze level 2 apparently, so that at least they have another option for what they do. They don't have to hit you with Blaze level 3. That's actually good news for us. Because the more options they have, the less likely they are to hit you with the maximum. So let's put that in their option. So that actually makes them a little less dangerous. I haven't really given them too many chances to try. I guess. I keep on killing them with massive attacks as much as I can. They are the main target. Yeah, there's 4 spinners on this level. Once you've passed all 4 of them, you're done with the spinning. And the third one you don't have to do anything with. You can basically walk past it. And the funny thing is that the answer for both of them is you just want to go through it twice in one direction. Although if you go forward, you actually have to spin around to go back in it again. So I just spin at the beginning and go through it backwards, and it's much simpler. Then at least you... Oh, these guys, they're from the previous dungeon. Hello, Cyblock. You're not gonna have a good time. You didn't. But it's nice to see you. Yep, that's a shortcut. We don't need to deal with that. Oh, that's not that. Actually, that's not even the shortcut one. That's just treasure. Another one of these dudes. They really are pretty insistent on dying. If there's bull snouts, that's just bull snouts. I might let them have another chance to do an ability. I want to get something on the books for them. Well, I said it, so let's let him have a chance. Show us what you got. Absolutely nothing? That's what I thought. I'll give you a second chance. You're not doing it. You ain't doing it. Really? Well, we gave them all the chances in the world to show the world what they could do, and they did not. So sad. So that one should be the shortcut. We're just gonna keep going. Yep, and this is the one that leads to the last one. Yep. So that's the third one you don't have to intersect with. And we're basically back where we were at. Oh, hello there. The last couple times we fought these, they didn't actually use any abilities, but they could attack twice for a decent amount of damage. We've gotten more defense though, they can't do much anymore. Yeah, we already knew they could do this. At least it's not damaged, though. They are stacking us up on healing herbs, though. So we are gonna go pick up that treasure chest. It's over here and around the corner. Look at you, bull snouts. I'd give you another chance, but I gave you enough chances. We're gonna kill these guys with impunity as best as we can. We don't really want to get drained, but they are definitely kinda assholes about it. They only got us once though. We saw the bolt level 2. It does do a good amount of damage. And now we see if this is cursed like Battle Edition or if it's... I'm gonna actually give this to... Oh, Milo can hold it. Milo is the least dangerous one to hold it if it is cursed. Oh, you got screen? That's one of the most useless ones. So yeah, he's not cursed. It's not like Battle Edition. Looks like it's just a normal item. Fair enough. So screen level 1. Okay. But either way, we were out of MP and full on items, so I still wanted to refresh even if it wasn't dangerous. Oh, did I go backwards? Oh well. We'll make a circle. We got it. Look at you, not even getting a turn. These guys might actually get a chance to attack if they get lucky, but they did not. I guess we are leveling up and we're getting faster than them. That'll make it a little easier. There's the prison door. Oh, look at you, Ostrix. Usually these guys do the force thing and they hit an enemy for one of our characters for a decent amount of damage. Where do I think they are on this listing for this? They drop a healer fruit. They're probably between the Death Rattler and Dark Wizard, if I was to guess. There's a big gap in the EXP between those. We'll make an entry between those just because I think it probably will, but I'll move it if necessary. Cool. Alright, show us what you got. You're doing it, you're doing your wiggle. You do 30 damage, right? You sure did. You did it. So they have the force. $312, $295. So we'll sort that out. There is. Oh, okay, I was adding it wrong. So yeah, they have 75 gold. That part was not too bad. What do they do for that? So it is 240. So they have 80 EXP. So yeah, they are right smack in the middle. Cool. Okay, yeah, that was the prison door. I just got a little disoriented doing that, but we're back on track. Most of the entries for this area should be all settled. I don't think there's usually too much more going on here. I think maybe the War Lizard and the Jacko Butch, maybe, but I don't know if they're in this dungeon. We'll find out. The Jacko Butch are probably like the other ones that are probably gonna run from us and we won't be able to hit them. Alright, heal level 2 is nice. Thing is, I don't remember which way goes further, but we're gonna go all the ways, so it doesn't matter too much. This area doesn't often stand out to me. We're not going to open any more treasure chests, like I said, because I want to save the ghosts for when I want to come back and check out what they can do. If I leave them alive, I can come back when I'm stronger and just let them wail on me, and it won't be a problem. Because they're time limited. At least they didn't get a chance to do anything. I think that way's further. I think this way. Oh, nope. The other one is probably treasure then. Cool. So I think these guys don't have different sprites than normal. I think the Death Rattlers, this is what they normally look like. So these guys haven't been changed. The Ostrix in those Grimfowl last time, they had their... Well, I mean, the Grimfowl had the Cockatrice one given to them. These Ostrix have done the opposite. They used to be purple, and now they're actually got the Grimfowl ones. So they're just being shuffled around for the most part. Oh, look at you doing a bunch of damage. We're so proud of you. At least these death grins don't seem to do much. Because by the time they get something like that going, it doesn't matter anymore, the battle's over. Okay, so that's all the areas mapped so far, and this list is gonna basically lead right to that room I was talking about with the walls falling down. It's got a short way and a long way through it. We're gonna take the short way first, and then we're gonna turn around and go the long way, just to close the loop. But I do find the effect in this area really neat, so you start out going in here and bam, wall in your face. Are you gonna try to melee me? That's interesting. I thought we were gonna take some damage for sure. Alright. Look at this nice open room with Got all the places in the world to go. We're getting a lot of healer fruits, so you can't go this way. Hey, we'll go this way. Nope. Nope. But yeah, no, this right here is the correct way to go further, but we're gonna go the other way. We're gonna go around and get that mapped out. There's some treasure chests we're not gonna pick up, but we are gonna at least map it. I do kind of wish that they had a custom treasure or anything, but I don't think any of the mod development tools for this actually has that as an option. So these guys probably just do the force. I don't think they have too much else going for them because they're not going to try to do anything else. Their AI is going to always focus on the force. I wonder if Bolt is the only spell that these guys have, other than Spreen. Well, if that's all you want to cast, that's all you want to cast. Can't make them do otherwise. The paralysis isn't good for us, though. Well, at least it wore off. Well, no it didn't actually. You can keep attacking. That's fine for me. Don't do that. You did it. Oh hey, war lizards. You came to the party. I don't know if these guys are actually any different. They look similar to what I remember. Let's see what it says about them. The war lizards give broadsword. I will note that on the item list that you gave, mod developer, if you do actually see this, you did spell this one wrong too on the list. It is a broadsword, not a Borad sword. Although the Borat sword would be interesting. But you might want to like proofread your list because a little bit of it is a little bit off. Not that I'm like complaining. I knew what you meant. Still paralyzed. That's unfortunate. You don't have an ability from them so far. Oh, we do now. I mean, quick is not that dangerous. They're kind of sturdy, though. I'll give them that. They hit decently hard. So 150 EXP? That's a lot of EXP. And 105 gold? Dang, that's kind of a weird place to have them, but I mean, they're there. We have pretty high EXP though for this they didn't do anything, so like they didn't seem very dangerous. That's what I guess what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, I didn't go that way. Okay. Nope, can't go that way. So this is an option, and it leads to nothing, by the way. This is a dead end. But I'm just mapping all the directions. This is about like 80% of the way through this trial, by the way. Like, we're almost through it. The last little bit is basically nothing. So like, there's a single one. It'll be pretty easy to tell like the EXP off of this. They're sturdy. Yeah, 150 and 105 indeed. Like, that's like 60 more than the wizards did. Well, here's a chance to see what the Ostric's gonna do on his own. He's gonna attack. Nope, you're just gonna die. Unfortunate for you. So far the only thing these lizards have going for them is they're a little sturdy, and they cast quick. Which makes them a little sturdier, I guess. Doesn't make them dangerous, though. Yep, they cast Bolt again. We have done most of the loop now, so the maze part of this is almost done. I guess the whole thing is technically a maze, though. But like, the part with multiple paths is almost done. They really, really want us to fight these Death Rattlers. They're kind of being dicks, though. I think that was the whole loop. Let's just do another double check. Yep, they're back at the beginning. So yep, this is the way towards the end of the level. And look at that, we did it! Just kidding. What a troll. Alright, let's heal up. Oh yeah, woe is you? Look at that, we found someone to rescue. Of course. So we have one more entry for this particular dungeon. We put the false idol in and get rid of this thing from our inventory. So, yeah, that's in there. So just like before, I am going to do a save state because you can only fight this guy once. I want to see what he does, so if I don't get a good chance to tell what he does, I will reload it just to see if he'll do different things. And I want to put a good entry in for him. Oh, did I? What did I do? Oh yeah, this is where you go. Look at you, so free. Here's our princess. What a good princess, right? Yeah, we can only fight this guy one time. He drops a dark block, which we don't really need. We can get by without that. But, Yeah, we are going to cast Quick on ourselves. We are going to basically defend up. We're going to see what he decides to do. He puts you to sleep when he punches you, so he has sleep hit. And he attacked one time. So he has sleep hit. He only did 20 damage, which is not too crazy. Let's see what he decides to do on the second turn. So you can flex your muscles, so that's a defensive move. So that's exciting. So I might not have needed the save state. He doesn't seem especially dangerous. He might be able to do something like critical hits, but he's not doing anything so far. Alright, we gave him like 5 attacks. So I think he just is like vanilla. He just attacks and puts you to sleep. We don't even need anything special to kill him, unfortunately. I could cast Boost to make it a little faster, I guess, but I don't think it's necessary even. $901,000. So I think he could have used being buffed a little bit more than he was. Like that didn't even seem like as big of a challenge as those snakes, unfortunately. We got our rune key. That's needed to get into the last dungeon. Yeah, these death rattlers were more dangerous than that guy was. That's for sure. Which way do I think is the right way? Yeah, this is not the right way. Good. I didn't want to go the right way first. That doesn't go anywhere. I think this leads to treasure, but I'll map it out. Also, if this leads to a treasure, I'll probably pick it up so I don't have to come back this far in. Oh, here's the Jacko Butches. I expect these guys to run from me, so I won't be able to get a good idea of what they can give us. But I'll put an entry in for them. So what do they drop? They drop the steel helm. Okay. That would be a moderate increase, but I think they're probably going to be too fast, but we'll find out. Yeah, they ran away. Oh, we killed one! Oh, we hit one. We didn't kill it. But at least we hit it. That's an improvement. So unfortunately, we're not going to get a good chance to see what they can give us for EXP and gold, because like the mod developer said that they give you really good EXP and gold, but I don't think that there's any real reason to actually come back to farm them unless they at any point. So I think it's the more likely that I'm just going to get to the next area and just fight enemies there until I get past that. I wouldn't want to come back through this whole dungeon just to check them out. Unless they're at the beginning of the next area too, so then you could check them out at the entryway perhaps, but the entryway for the fourth dungeon is super tiny. But yeah, I didn't think that this was going to be one of the ghosts, so we got ourselves a battle axe, which probably only Milo can wear. It gives the same as the Morning Star, that is 30. Interesting. So let's get an entry for it. Oh, we already got this one before. Never mind, this is the same as the one we got before. Okay. So this is just selling fodder, I guess. Cool. It is a normal item from the trader vendor, so it's not even a special item. And there we go, we have made it through. At least our stuff in town will be easy, because essentially there's nothing left to buy. So yeah, we're gonna return to town. We are going to sell the useless stuff we don't need anymore. Oh, well, that was the wrong button. Let's go in. So we don't need the dwarf key anymore because the rune key actually takes its function. We don't need any of these, they're just a heal level 2. And if we're doing so bad that we need that, then we will just go back to town. Okay, so we'll give ourselves a little heal. And we'll save our progress. Alright, and then we will go back here and talk about the balance of that part of the mod for a couple minutes. So yeah, I didn't mind that dungeon actually. Usually at this point in the base game, you're basically bought out on the stop in the shops too, so you do usually have a really easy time in this dungeon for the most part. So it isn't too different from what happened. I will say that the death rattlers were a problem, and it was kind of nice to have a real problem. Usually your annoyance in the first bit of this dungeon is actually those fungus, the toadstools. They divide, they put you to sleep, they use the sleep powder. But more than that, they're just always flexing and being tanky. So the fact that we actually had multiple options for hitting the whole group made it a little easier to deal with them. So this mod has that going for it. So that was a little less tedious. But they also didn't divide like they used to. So I mean, I don't know like if there was a design interest for getting rid of that if you just hate that ability. That is a possibility. But it was a thing that made them more of a problem. The war lizards didn't seem to do anything other than quick themselves up. You also had the minotaurs doing the same thing, so there was a lot of enemies just buffing themselves and not actually fighting us for most of this, so I don't think that those actually should have been so spread out over that, so that may be something that could be balanced out. I will also say that in the last dungeon that Totolide, and in this one the Doppler, and even the Grimwall, actually even the Ghost and the Sea Stallion, they all seemed a little lackluster, like they could use a little bit of buff in their stats, because none of them actually felt like they were hurting us very much. The Sea Stallion could actually hit us pretty good, so they may not need more stats, but they could probably use having an ability or two or something like that that can actually hit the group. Because none of it actually seemed like it was actually a threat as much as the enemies around them, despite the fact that they gave a decent amount of experience. But yeah, like in a comparison on where the EXP values are to, say, Battle Edition, I can bring that up. So in the Cave of Truth, the weakest experience-wise for the Battle Edition was an enemy called the Bloodlust. And that's basically those Freddy Krueger style ones you have called the Death Grins. They gave 187 experience, which is 3 times what you were giving them for 61. So like the EXP is like out of control in Battle Edition in a way. You basically end up at the end of Cave of Wisdom at level 40, and as you can see, we're level 24 right now. So like there's just a major difference in levels. And yeah, like the highest EXP ones at that point of the normal enemies is almost at 400, which would be the Bone Knights, which give you 392 experience, and that is compared to your War Lizards at 150, who are a little inflated from the other enemies around them, because the next one down is the Dark Wizard, who is at 90. So if you ignore the fact that the War Lizards are a little inflated, that's over. That's actually over 4 times as much as the previous one, the Dark Wizard. So the scaling gets even worse for Battle Edition. For normal, I think you have maybe like a 30 or 40% increase in experience. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my cuff. I'd have to play through it again. I haven't played the base game of Shining in the Darkness in a couple years. But yeah, like I do like the progression. I will say I'm getting an awful lot of healer fruit, and I think that might be... You might have a few too many enemies giving you something like that, but I mean, if that's what you wanted, if you just wanted to give people a bunch of extra free heals, I guess that is not terrible. I could have been using them. I just kind of wasn't. So if that's what you're going for, I can understand it. But yeah, that's been my experiences with it so far. I do think it's not badly balanced at this stage, other than maybe the bosses could use a buff. And yeah, I'm gonna call the stream here, and we'll check out the Cave of Wisdom next time. Thank you all, and I hope you have a lovely day. You take care. Bye-bye now.